the GST Council has decided to cut tax rate on cement from a 28% earlier to 18%, a move that is expected to boost the real estate sector. Even as the affordable housing is set to benefit the most, the analysts are concerned over the demand issues. Let me get on board my colleague Ashesha is joining in with more details from that sector. Ashesha, take it away.
Well, yes, largely on expected lines, the GST rate cut as far as cement is concerned. So currently it stands at about 28%, and GST on cement is likely to come down to 18%. This will be with effect from the 22nd of September. Yes, big moves coming in for the real estate sector, and construction cost is likely to come down because of this GST cut, and hence this will aid the real estate sector. Remember, it will also aid affordable housing, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 metro cities, and more so it is likely to lower construction costs, and this will be passed on to the buyers, and hence there will be direct impact on buyers of real estate. Now, as I mentioned, this is largely on expected lines. This move was expected and analysts had already penciled this in. Niranjan Hiranandani says that this will significantly ease input costs. It will improve project viability across several cities and will accelerate infrastructure development across the country. So brokerage houses continue to remain very positive, and so is the corporate fraternity. Meanwhile, remember, this is not likely to weigh heavy on demand because the demand is largely inelastic. So any kind of impact on demand is likely to be immaterial, and demand likely is expected to remain steady as far as cement demand is concerned. Meanwhile, analysts also say that this is likely to be structurally positive for the cement industry, especially for the premium side of category. In fact, premium and category A products will likely become more affordable for consumers, and perhaps consumption is likely to shift from lower end products to premium products within the cement category. Meanwhile, Nomura also says that the share of category A products is likely to rise from 40% currently to as much as 60% by FY30. And they also believe that pan-India players such as Ultratech, Ambuja, ACC will likely benefit from increased penetration of premium products. So yes, positive move that has come in for the cement sector, and real estate sector and infra is likely to be the indirect beneficiary of this GST rate cut on cement.
All right, thank you, Ashesha, for that update. But stay on now, GST on dairy products, that too has been slashed with many products set to attract just zero rates now. Now, this is seen as a big boost for farmers and dairy consumers as well. Throw some light on this as well.
Well, yes, positive news flow coming in for the dairy industry as well, and several products GST has been reduced on. First up, let's talk about dairy, where GST has been reduced to 5% from 12% currently. So it includes condensed milk, butter, ghee, other fat and cheese. So on all of these products, GST has been reduced from 12% currently to 5%, which will be applicable from the 22nd of September. As far as paneer is concerned and some select types of milk, GST, which currently stands at 5%, will now be lowered to 0%. So big positive coming in for the entire dairy industry as well. Now remember, we had several experts which were suggesting that the current higher rates were hurting farmers, and hence lower rates are likely to aid Indian farmers and the agriculture industry per se. And higher rates was also promoting an unorganized market with unadulterated products. So this is also likely to come down, and organized dairy industry is likely to benefit on account of this GST rate reduction on the dairy industry.
All right, while the staples are set to get cheaper, what is in it for all the car lovers? Well, it's a mixed bag for the auto sector. Small cars, motorcycles under 350cc and all the auto parts now fall in the 18% GST slab, but the bigger cars will attract a steep 40% rate. Shrishti, take us on how this could steer demand of the automobile industry.
Well, yes, auto sector remains to be one of the key contributors in the GDP of India as well, and a whole host of announcements have come in. Firstly, when it comes to the passenger vehicle space, yes, of course, the small cars are expected to get cheaper, because in that you will see that the tax rate, which was anywhere between 29 to 31%, including cess earlier, that has been slashed to 18%. In the domestic market, yes, Maruti Suzuki will be the key beneficiary. Moving on to the other announcement, that is on the larger capacity cars. For petrol cars which have engine capacity above 1200cc, diesel cars above 1500cc, they will be taxed at 40% now. And so is the case for hybrids as well, because including cells, the hybrids tax range was anywhere between over 40%, but now they will be taxed, the larger capacities hybrids, they will be taxed at 40% now versus the street estimates of 18%. So let's watch out for select counters like Maruti Suzuki, how the investors do take it. But for Maruti Suzuki, the domestic, or rather the constitution of the small cars in the overall portfolio stands at over 70%. Now when it comes to the EVs on the passenger vehicle side, there was some bit of an uncertainty that whether or not that 5% tax will prevail or not. So that stands as it is, and that could be taken positively for Mahindra and Mahindra, where of late there was some bit of an uncertainty around it. Now let's talk about the two-wheeler space. There, the clear bifurcation is on 350cc segment. The bikes above 350cc segment, where Royal Enfield drives almost 9% revenue, Bajaj Auto drives 3% revenue from that segment, that will get impacted to be taxed at 40%. But for the bikes below 350cc segment, and that will be taxed at a lower rate of 18%, and that indeed is a welcome move versus 28% what they were taxed earlier. The commercial vehicle segment, tractors, the list is long, and they are going to be beneficiaries too. For commercial vehicle, three-wheelers, the tax will be cut from 28 to 18%, and for tractors from 12 to 5%. So definitely a whole host of announcements have come in for the auto sector, and most of the companies are likely to be beneficiary, barring some of the cases wherein hybrids are expected to be taxed higher, the large cars are expected to be taxed higher, and 350cc bikes as well. So indeed a welcome move for the auto industry.
All right. Thank you, Srishti, for that update. Well, that GST reset is here, and starting September 22nd, we'll have the new GST slabs, that is 5% and 18%, and also 40% on thin goods and luxury goods. But on that note, we're completely timed out on this edition of Market Cafe, but don't go anywhere as the market will take all the action forward.